Hey, folks, this is Andrew Rose, the producer of The Liars Club, and Jessica, Felicia, and I just want to say thank you so much for giving the podcast a listen. We hope that you're enjoying all the crazy stories, the truths, and the lies. Please give us a rate, a review, a subscribe on whatever podcast app you are listening to, be that Podbean, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, anything like that. We would really appreciate it. Also, we have live shows that are going to be coming out pretty soon. Also, live episodes that are coming out very soon. Go to The Liars Club 1 on Instagram. Follow the link in the bio, and that's where you can grab the tickets for any of our live shows that are coming up. Thank you.
Welcome to the Liars Club. This is where we take our guests, we tell them to give us the truth, give us a lie, we figure out which is which. I'm Jessica Wellington.
I'm Felicia Michaels.
And you're about to get lied to.
It's Friday night here at the Comedy Store, and we have some amazing guests joining us. You want to go ahead and introduce them, Jessica?
I would love that. So over here in front of me, I just went and saw her game show this past Tuesday. It's Funny You Should Ask. She's been on AGT. She's amazing. She's a regular here at the Comedy Store. Miss Jodi Miller.
Hi, everyone.
Yay.
Hi.
Yay.
Hi. I'm doing this in my hand, even though everyone's like, what is she doing? I do whatever Jade does. I'm like,
She's raising the roof.
Raising the roof with her left
it's like, you know, I ever take a picture and then you smile too. You're like, smile, and then you're smiling. Or I like open my mouth. Like I'm posing while I'm taking someone else's picture as if the camera's going to magically turn and be like, no, let's get you.
I like that, though, when somebody taking your photos smiling, it encourages you to smile, too.
Yeah.
And that beautiful voice was a young woman here that I met at the Comedy Store. She just came back from Brazil, Australia, and you were in Brazil.
Wow.
She's an amazing actress. Regular here at the Comedy Store, Miss Jade Catta Preta.
Yay!
What were you doing in Australia?
I was doing a little tour over there.
You
Fun.
were?
Yeah.
Oh, tell me about that. What is that like?
It was cool. Like, it never stopped raining. Never.
It's their summer,
Rained
though,
every
right
day.
now.
Yeah, I caught, like, right before the summer. Lots of hot dudes, lots of really sweet people,
Nice.
but it was a hard run. Like, shows every night and traveling a lot, and it was definitely not a money gig, but it was cool. I
No,
learned
it's
a
great,
lot.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
The
That's
audiences
awesome.
are awesome there.
The what are?
The audiences.
Oh, great.
They love comedy, and
So
They're
great.
into it in Australia.
into it,
They
yeah.
love it.
yeah, it was fun.
Well, great. That's awesome. And what have you been up to, Jodi?
We just started season 2 of Funny You Should Ask. So it's a lot of work. I'm looking forward to the break. It's so much work. Like, I'm just like, I'm like numb all the time, I feel like. Well, first season was 131 episodes.
Oh my
And
God.
second season
Jesus,
is 100
really?
episodes. Yeah, we are 5 days a week. And
Wow.
it's a lot of work.
But how many do you film?
We film 5 every other Tuesday. So,
Jesus.
you know, right now we have 16 writers. I'm the head writer, and I'm in charge of putting all the shows together. So it's just a lot of work.
Yeah.
I'm going through a lot of
of
questions.
moving parts, a lot
It's
of
a lot of
people.
moving parts, a lot of people, a lot of personalities because
Yeah.
we have 6 comics on every
yeah.
time we tape. And there's a lot of things you have to adjust.
Has it been cool because you're having so many different comics, not only writing for it but being on it, that you get to meet someone where you're like, "Whoa, I didn't expect this person to be this cool."
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Kathy Griffin was on a month ago, and she was amazing and gracious and appreciative and hilarious. She was great. Whitney Cummings, this was her first week on the show,
She
but
did so
she
good.
did great. I've been friends with Whitney though for years, so
Right,
that
it's
you know.
different.
But it's like, who else was I really? Bill Engvall is now one of my favorite people in the whole world.
So
I met him from
one
being on
other
the
time,
show.
yeah.
He's just
So
great.
nice.
David Allen Greer has been on the show. Tim Meadows is on all the time. Vivica Fox, who I now become good friends with.
was so
She's so great. It's I mean, Howie Mandel's on all the time. So you know what? To be honest with you, with the exception of like maybe one person, everyone has been amazing on that show because it's so much fun.
Text it to me.
I'll text it to you. I will. Everyone has been, other than that, so much fun, and it is a really fun show. Like, Jessica was just there. It's really fun. It's like Hollywood Squares, but with comedians.
Yeah.
They don't have to do anything, but like we have Russell Peters coming on next week,
Oh,
so
nice,
they
nice.
just sit there and
You write all the jokes.
Yeah, we write all the questions. The jokes. And then the writers have to source it. It's a lot of work for sure. That's why there's so many writers because we're doing so many, episodes and
No,
questions.
that's a lot
Yeah.
of episodes.
Yeah.
Just to
It's-
keep track of.
I know, 131.
That's
And I've been
crazy.
on 25 episodes, which is also an amazing thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which is great
Cross
that I get to.
promotion.
Yes, it really is. Which is a lot of fun. But it's interesting when you're on the show and then you have to pretend like, I mean, that I haven't read every single person because I have to go over all the games.
Yeah.
I have to go over all the games and I've read every question. I could probably recite every single person's joke, but I act like I'm like, that's hilarious. Did you just come up with that?
I came up with it on my toilet. Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show, you guys. So for everyone that's tuning in for the first time, what we do is we ask two of our comedy friends to come by and tell two stories. One, the truth, and the other one, the lie. And then Jessica, my lovely partner over here, and I figure out which one is the lie. Now, Jessica and I will be asking you some questions, just to be more clear on the story and all that kind of stuff. And
basically to see if you're fucking lying.
yeah,
Jesus.
she's a fucking hard case over here, my friend Jessica.
God.
No pressure or anything.
Someone's not coming out of here alive.
I used to host a public TV show in Boston when I was in college called Two Truths and a Lie. And
Did you
the same
really?
setup.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and it would be like 3 people are telling real stories, two are truths and one's a lie. Find out. It was called Secret
Next week.
Lives.
No.
It was called
really?
Secret Lives.
Well, I'm sure it's destroyed a lot of marriages because of that. But that's also on
Mostly fake
Hinge.
stories.
On Hinge, they have
Yeah.
two truths and a lie as well. Like, and then you're whoever
is
you're.
Hinge?
Hinge is a dating app. Yes.
Oh.
You've never been on Hinge?
No, I'm more of a Riot type of girl.
I'm on Riot too.
I know I've
What-
come
what-
into people that and I've thought about texting you like, can you vouch for this?
Oh my God, it's hilarious.
Weird guy with dreads,
Yeah. No, I've probably seen the weird guy with dreads too.
We probably have both slept with him, so that's good to know.
Well, anyway, I
Now,
would
see, was
love
that the
to
truth
hear-
or a lie?
Which one?
Oh.
That was true.
Who wants to go first? It doesn't matter which order you do which story in, and we're just going
Jade,
to
you can
rotate
go
it around
first.
first.
So it doesn't matter which story we start with, or
No, because we don't want to know, which
We
is
don't
what
wanna
I
know.
bet you
Okay, we
don't.
wanna-
Yeah.
yeah.
okay.
Mine are both dog stories, which is
That's
kind of
okay.
weird.
Oh, I have a dog story too.
Yeah, and I am sorry ahead of time if you're, a little bit of a softie. Turn off the podcast right now. It's not for you. Okay, so as you guys know, I have kind of a big mouth. Like,
Yeah, okay.
you're welcome.
We get it.
No, yeah. I have a big mouth, and I'm not the best person at keeping secrets. So if you are going to tell me a secret, it's probably not. You have to really tell me not to tell it. Like, make me promise, and I have to be sober. So these are all difficult.
So many
Yeah,
requirements.
so many requirements. And I have this kind of small group of friends from college, and we were at a Christmas party, and
Where was the Christmas party at?
here in LA, Mount Washington. And my friend throws this Christmas party every year. She has this little village that she creates because she's a production designer, so it's really cute.
Around her house?
No, like right when you walk in, she has a little place, and she makes a little Christmas village.
Okay, nice.
Every year there's a new little house that she makes, and everybody's married, and I'm the weird single friend. We had a breakfast once, and everyone announced that they were pregnant, and I was I took a little bit of mushrooms before I got great. And one of my friends was having a very difficult time sexually with her partner, and she was like, "Can I tell you the secret?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Where did she corner you, in another room, or
No, we were just all talking and kind of
and her
sitting off.
partner wasn't there,
No, he was there.
and she brought it up with him there?
Yeah, no, he
Like, right in
wasn't
front-
he wasn't there was different rooms in the house.
That's
he
what I'm
wasn't-
asking. Did she were you in a different room than he was?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He wasn't nearby, and she's like,
No, he was sitting right fucking
You're
next
sitting
to
right
her.
on her face, which made it so awkward. It was like,
I was
oh,
like, she's like, I'm not coming. He's eating it right now.
You see the problem? You see it?
I do see it. And this is difficult to say out loud. And she told me that as she was coming out of her shower, her dog, her Doberman, big dog, kind of fell on her and started humping her, and she orgasmed.
Nuh-uh.
what?
Nuh-uh.
Orgasmed.
No, come, what is this bullshit? He
Orgasm.
fell on her.
He started humping her.
Okay.
And
She
it
fell?
happened. She fell. Right?
So
I'm-
wait, but he was just
so I'm
humping, but his penis wasn't inserted.
inside.
No,
No.
Yes, inside. Right? And
the
she
lipstick
came.
was inside.
The lipstick.
Looks like a lipstick. Everyone does.
Yes. Horrified.
Obviously.
Okay.
I
So
told
no,
it on
no.
stage. I started telling it on stage. I
Oh my
started
God.
telling.
Did she know that you were telling on stage?
Well,
Did you at least change the breed
This
of
is part
dog
the
on
story.
stage?
No, I didn't change anything because I never thought that.
She gonna be pissed you're telling it on a podcast?
It's beyond that now. We're not friends anymore.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, because she had sex with her dog.
Yeah, I need you to explain that a little bit more.
I was horrified. So there was a big part of me that just didn't want to kind of hear. It was like weird. She was kind of like confessing to me, and I didn't want to be like judging her.
So she said, I don't mean to like keep browbeating on this. So
Yes,
she came
please.
out of the shower. And
She came out of the shower. The
and she was
dog
and the dog jumped on her.
it kind of. She said it like kind of started. At first, she thought it was like he was kind of humping her leg, and then it was kind of like she kind of like just like was scared and just stood still and let it happen. And this was her dog that used to be the boyfriend's dog before it was her dog. So it wasn't really like her dog from this age on, you know?
Right.
So they weren't like, it wasn't her son dog, which makes no difference.
And she orgasmed, you said?
And the dog came the dog went to
Oh, she
completion.
didn't orgasm.
She didn't orgasm.
Oh, okay.
See, aren't you glad that I
Yes.
fucking got
Yes.
on Jade about the
Thank
story?
you.
Okay.
But
Okay,
she
good.
did not enjoy it, I think is the
So the
crux.
dog came inside her?
So the dog came inside of her.
Please tell me she has puppies.
So I immediately start telling the story on stage because
Because how
the
could you
best thing
not?
that ever happened to me. And I guess they came to one of my shows as a big group, and I didn't know. It was in the main room. And now every time she walks into a room, everybody goes, woof, 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 woof.
Oh my God.
And she no longer speaks to me.
Holy shit. Doesn't matter. Story is worth it.
What adult does that when you walk into a room?
Well, I actually have another friend who could never come, and then she came for the first time when she got like pushed into a glass and it broke under her, and she came for the first time.
Oh my, what?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then she like got dragged by the hair and came the second time.
Some people are way better with
Some
that.
people though are into like pleasure, like pain
you
pleasure.
don't know
Yeah.
until it happens.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
just lucky that I just like a little bit of a choke. You know what I mean? Like, can you
I
I
imagine?
do like when someone pulls my hair a little bit.
I like when
I'll be
people will
honest.
pull my hair. I'm not a choking person, but a hair pull is
I
nice.
mean, I don't want them to snatch me bald headed,
no,
but a little yank.
Yeah, a little yank is nice.
Right.
Yeah. Or don't take my extension out if I'm wearing like my clip in like for an event and then somebody like pulls it and you're like, oh, what the fuck? There's my hair. You tore it out.
Yeah.
Wow.
This
That's
is
good.
this
That is a good one.
Jay.
Yeah, it's horrifying. It's horrifying.
Yeah.
And the Christmas party is coming around, and it's actually this Saturday. And I'm
are you
gonna
going?
go. I don't know if she'll be there, but I'm gonna go. It's not
So,
the girl
wow.
who throws
Okay,
the
got it,
party.
got it,
It's not
got
the
it.
girl who throws
I
the
just
party.
can't imagine that moment when you're, guys, my apologies, but I just can't imagine that moment when your dog comes inside of you. Like, what do you do?
You can't?
Well, I think
You
she
can't
was
imagine
frozen in
that?
fear.
I can't imagine.
She was frozen in fear. You know, I think it was
Right.
like more of a fear.
Well,
thing
Dobermans are
than-
scary.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are kind of
sure.
scary.
Okay, I get that. Maybe she's a smaller girl, I'm guessing.
Yeah, she's like about my size.
Right.
But,
But
I've been
usually
attacked by a
dogs
dog
grab
like that.
onto a leg. You know, like they get
Right.
to like to get around something. So I
Yeah.
mean, did she have a really tiny waist?
No.
Did the dog get her a washcloth after?
Oh my God. Hilarious. Because if
They're not together.
they're not
They're
dating.
together.
They're not together.
No, I think they're still together. I think
The-
that
Her and the dog. Please tell me she changed her like status on Facebook to like
haven't
it's complicated.
looked. I mean,
Like really, it's complicated.
nobody told me that they were there until much later.
Right.
I found out, obviously, because if it had happened the day of, I don't know how I would have. Because
Okay.
I've told jokes about people that I didn't want them to be in the room for, and that already is like, but I just couldn't. Just don't tell me
So,
that kind of a secret.
When she told you that at the party, like what did you
I was
say?
like, I'm so sorry. I was like
Right.
horrified, and I was like, I understand, of course. Oh my God,
You did? I would have screamed, "You
Well,
fucked
because-
your dog!"
No, because my sister's dog actually attacked me. I was on oh my God, on a swing.
Oh, right.
He was like, and he got me down and was like biting my neck
Oh,
and
God,
trying to help
yes.
me.
You did, sure, but it still never got close enough to your vagina.
Yeah, but I wasn't naked and also by myself. My sister had to get him off. It was scary.
right.
Yeah.
I can see
She has
that.
a Rhodesian Ridgeback, and they're fucking huge.
Oh yeah, well they're very aggressive. Too. They can be
Wow.
aggressive. I think they were bred
Wow.
to take down lions.
I guess Doberman pinchers don't last long in bed.
Apparently not. How
didn't even
embarrassing
ask
for
her
the
how long
dog.
it took.
Yeah, how
I should
embarrassing
have
for the
asked.
dog.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why didn't you ask that?
Because I was in shock.
So her boyfriend doesn't know, or her husband doesn't know?
Oh, they all know now
now
because she
all
said it
know.
on
And
stage.
They're still
because
married?
of
Like,
you.
he's not like, you fucked the dog?
I didn't ask.
It's just like, I think he'd be comparing himself to the dog like all the time.
No, I wonder if they got rid of the dog.
They had to have gotten rid of the dog. You can't have the other person living there. The other guy.
The other guy living there.
She knows this story. That's why I'm like,
Wow,
Well, I did not expect that out of you,
That
Jade.
is a strong
It's a good
first
one.
story.
It's a
I
good one.
applaud
Sorry
about
that.
that.
I
If I
applaud
can
that.
follow that with
All right.
bestiality, I
Your
don't
turn,
know.
Jody. Your turn.
Fuck. Okay, both of my stories involve, one has a dog, but involves... I was at a Christmas party. I'm just kidding. I came out of the shower and no, I'm just kidding. This dog just attacked me. So it was me, everyone. That's how we play this. No, both stories are about being in the right place at the right time and saving a life. Okay, so I was living in Hoboken with my roommate Amy at the time.
That's where the cake boss is from.
That's right, correct. I was bartending there, and my roommate's car got stolen. It got stolen like a week prior, and then she gets a call. We're sitting in our apartment. She gets a call that they found it. It's in an impound place in Newark. Now, anyone who doesn't know Newark, New Jersey knows it's scary as fuck. And you don't want to be there, especially at night. You definitely don't want to be there. So we're like, let's go, get your car, and get out of there before, the sun goes down and we're murdered. Because when I say that we were like the two whitest Jewish girls, it was just, I had blonde hair at the time. I was Jersey blonde. I was driving like a small little SUV. Like I couldn't be, it was just like insane. And she had another SUV. We had two SUV. We couldn't be like it was ridiculous. We were just like basically, it was crazy. So we just had signs on our head that was like, kill us. So we get her car. So now I'm following her and we can't find Route 46. There's just we can't get back to the highway. We just can't find it. We're driving around and it is getting later and later and it is getting darker and darker and we're freaking out. No cell phones at this time. So we're just like, she's at a light and I'm just looking at her. And then at like one point she's like, I don't know where to go. And we don't have a map, nothing.
You didn't stop and ask anybody?
We didn't stop. You don't where we were at. It was the worst part of Newark. We just didn't even want to stop. We were just like, it's got to be here somewhere. We came off of it. We'll find it. So now it's like rush hour traffic. We're like just at a light, just on the main street. We're stopped and she's in front of me. And I see a man and a woman carrying something, frantically running up to her car and like trying to open the door. And I'm freaking out. I'm watching this happen and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I don't know what to do. And I see her hands. Oh, I'm sorry. I see her hands just waving and waving and waving. And then the man starts running towards my car. And I go to like lock the door, but before I can, he opens my passenger door. And then you just want to like die for that one moment, like time stands still. But then I looked and he was carrying his son. And his son's lips were blue. He was choking. And he didn't speak English. And he got in my car and just was like, "Vámonos, vámonos." He started screaming. And you just go.
He was
you
German?
He was German, obviously. Yeah, he was German. And I was like,
I couldn't think of one
9.
German word.
Yes, I know. 9. That's all I can think of too. So I don't even know what took over my body, but he's screaming in Spanish, holding a kid that is non-responsive. Like I was looking at this child and I crossed over and my roommate follows me. I take the lead and I'm driving on the other side of the street. The woman is now in my roommate's car.
Your roommate, because you've already picked up the car at this point.
Yes, we have already gotten the car. We were trying to get back home, and we were so lost. We had been driving maybe for an extra hour just trying to find the freeway entrance, and there were just no signs anywhere. So now I cross over, and he was just, the only words he really knew were like left, right, and I was just following him. He's screaming in Spanish, and I'm screaming. I'm like, stop screaming! Stop screaming! Like I'm screaming, he's screaming, and then I'm like, don't die! Don't die! Like I'm 25 at the time. I'm freaking out. It was just like left, right, left, right, left, right. There's like a hospital, and I like just drive on top of the curb. Like I just straight up where there's like a gate and slam into the gate, and like an attendant comes running out. It wasn't even where the the ER entrance was. We just came up there. He ran out, and then somebody saw what was going on, and they just rushed him in. My roommate pulls up. His wife gets out. They go in. We're now like just standing there like, what the fuck just happened? We're just like, unbelievable. And then I shit you not, we look straight up and I had hit, my car had come up on a curb, hit a pole, and we look up and it was like Route 46, like right here.
Oh, really?
No.
I get the chills every time.
And you guys
I
are like, peace.
we were like, later.
So did the kid live?
He lived. We called him the next day and he was fine.
What was his name? Do you
He
remember?
choked on food. They didn't tell us what food. We had to call. We had to call like several times because they were like, "Who are you?" We're like, "We're the people that dropped them off." And then they were like, "Hold on." And then and finally we got somebody that was like, "He's fine." They kept him for observation, and they
now
released
he's
him.
not even allowed to be back in the U.S.
Yes, exactly. And then they deported his ass.
I
no.
choked twice as a kid.
Did you really?
I did. Once at home on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and my stepmom.
Seems like a thing you wouldn't choke on. It seems just very
so
smooth.
soft.
Yes.
No. If you know.
Well, peanut butter probably.
No.
The peanut butter probably got like thick
Right,
and
exactly.
like made the bread.
It like makes
yeah.
it stick, and it sticks there. It's
Yeah.
like cement or whatever. And then, so my stepmom gave me Heimlich and got me out and got it out.
God.
Then the other time I was in 3rd grade, and they gave us candy whenever we finished. Like we could pick something from the box.
Yeah.
And I picked this little like lime thing, and I just sucked it in and went.
Oh, I've done that. Where you breathe. Yes.
Yeah, and it
You're
got stuck right there in my throat. Couldn't breathe at all. Ran over to the teacher. She wished me out into the hallway, and the teacher next door was like, "Give me Heimlich." They couldn't get it, and the school is like in panic mode at this point. Then the principal's running down, coming down, and it took a while for this one, and they kept giving me Heimlich.
You should learn how to do
scary.
it. My
Yeah,
dad
you
chokes
can do it
all
on
the time.
yourself.
We
You can-
so
yeah.
I've like during a movie he choked and I had to like give him the Heimlich.
But you can also
Yeah.
there is a technique
has a
you can
faulty
to like
flap.
yes you can I
I
think
think
you
you're
can do
supposed
yourself.
to throw yourself over a chair or
It's
something.
supposed
Something,
to be
yes,
something,
something hard.
Yeah.
So I don't. Here's the thing. Looking back on that, I mean, even at that moment, I thought we were supposed to get lost that day. We were supposed to be exactly where we were because who knows if anyone else would have helped them. It's just one of those neighborhoods where
wouldn't
you
have if
don't
your
know.
door was locked.
Exactly. There were so many things. I wouldn't have. No, I mean
that's always
no,
reminding me of
I
one
mean,
like that,
it's
yeah.
like when you look at like I'm sure if I had seen the kid, I just saw him running. He was carrying something. I had
And you
no
didn't know,
idea.
yeah.
You're just so like. But if we were not lost, if we were not at that spot, if everything didn't fall into place, we would have, who knows what would have happened.
That
But
kid would have died.
Yes, and I feel like the universe was like, and now you may go home. You were supposed to be here at that time, and I carried that around. I was like, I'm a lifesaver, everyone. Not to brag.
Well, you said both stories about life saving, so I believe you there. So either way, you are a lifesaver.
Well, I would tend to believe the story about the fucking traffic in Newark. Not the traffic, but the roads. Because I once, with a navigation system, got so verklempt because I couldn't figure out how to get into Newark Airport.
Oh yeah.
That's a tough one.
That I missed
Yeah.
my flight.
Oh my God, for
yeah,
real?
Yeah, because you know how in Newark, when you if you're driving and to make a left turn, you got to do those circles.
Yeah. See, I grew up there, so
Roundabout?
It's like DC.
Yes.
It's like DC.
It's the
very
roundabout.
like that.
It's the roundabouts,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
if you're not from the East Coast and you don't have a roundabout and you don't know how to the
lived-
right lane
yeah.
turning to get to the left, then it will throw you, and you will definitely.
it's
I lived in England. I loved the roundabouts.
Really?
Yeah, because if you missed your turn, you just go around again.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Some
give
people
me a
don't like
chance
it.
to U-turn.
Yeah, there's like
I want a
no
U-turn
chance to
legally.
U-turn. If you miss that, you're not aware of like where the next one is, the turnout. You're like, I'm screwed. Yeah, for sure.
Do you have any questions, Jessica? I think you should grill
It's a
her.
beautiful story.
her
So then, when
over
did you
here.
think
when
I
did
should?
I
when did the
don't-
Mexican guy get fucked by a dog?
No, right after that was the celebratory night. It was the celebratory night.
when his son lived. They were like, bring the dog.
But these
And
are
that
little
actually inspired the
chihuahuas.
song "Who Let the Dogs Out." You see how it all comes full circle?
And that's why she's a writer, guys.
Oh, I mean that is so perfect.
It's beautiful.
It does. It's like it got a good crisp ending.
I-
Oh, there's the sign.
Yeah.
It's very movie-esque.
But I had a similar
Yeah.
thing happen where me and my friend. Do you guys know? Oh my God, Jocelyn Hughes. We were really lost, like going hiking, and we found this car that had just run off the road.
Oh my God.
And there was a kid in there who had overdosed. And was like there all night, and we were there right when his
Oh my
parents
God.
also drove up and found him. We were like, "How
Oh
did
my
they-
God.
How we were meant to be there? It was
Yes.
so weird."
I truly
Like,
believe in that. And
Yeah.
at that time, I'm not sure I was, I was like 25. I was like, I'm a bartender. I don't need to, like life just happens. And then I was like, oh my God. Like we were both, I just remember once we got back to our apartment, we were just sat in silence, just like, did that just happen type of a
Yeah.
deal.
I had an experience like that once when I made this short film in Austin, Texas, and I have this friend who's a comic named Tom Hester, and so it was in August, and it was a short film that I made, and it was so friggin' hot, and we went to go take all the gear back right when the sun was starting to set, right. and then we're driving on Congress, which is a really busy street in Austin. And there's this guy, and he's laying, like when you have the sidewalk and a little bit of grass and then the gutter, and he's laying in the grass, but his head is kind of rolling in the gutter, and cars are whipping by him, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so Tom and I, we drove by. We're in a van. It's empty because we just returned all the gear. And I look, and I'm like, Tom, we gotta go help that guy. So we pull the van over, and we run up to him, and the guy is like out of it, but he's trying to talk, and he's like, I'm not a drunk. I'm a diabetic. I'm going into shock.
Oh my God.
And then so Tom, my friend Tom, runs across the street to the gas station. This is before cell phones, to call 911. And I was trying to pull the guy out of his head out of the gutter and stuff like that. And then when Tom was on the phone with 911, they were like, "Sir, he's probably just a drunk. Leave him be." And he's
What?
like, "Yeah." And finally, Tom's like, "Look, his belt and his shoes match. Fucking send an ambulance."
Right. Yeah.
And then we saved that guy's life. And then afterwards, we went to this place called Thunderbird Subs, which is a great sub shop in Austin. And we were so like that, what you're saying about, oh my God.
Adrenaline rush.
Yes.
And like, oh my God. And it was empty in there, but there was a like 17-year-old cashier or whatever. And we order our subs. And then we're like, yeah, we just told him. We tell her the whole story about, we saved this guy's life. And then the girl goes, "You want a free soda?"
Oh, wow.
I thought that's what a life is worth.
What a bitch.
Free
No,
soda.
I was being generous, but still.
What did you get? The free soda?
We got the fucking free soda. Fuck yeah, we got the free soda.
I hope it was a Dr. Pepper.
Yeah,
That's my favorite soda,
Me
too.
too.
She loves Dr. Pepper.
I love Dr. Pepper too.
What?
You know what I like? I like it flat.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Really?
kind of flat.
I drink diet Dr. Pepper. I used to drink regular, but I like diet. I like diet.
Really?
Soda, the
It's
whole
best
point of
diet
soda
drink,
is to
so you
get
should
that-
drink
Best.
diet drinks.
I
that
know.
carb-
I don't really drink
Carbonation.
soda
I
anymore
like it
either way.
light carbonation. It's weird. My grandma used to stir soda for me. It's really gross.
A really good trick, here's a life hack just
Yeah.
from being a bartender when you have an upset
Yeah.
stomach and you need flat soda, but you only have like a can of soda, is just put it in a glass and another glass and just go back and forth like
great.
that. The longer you do it, then all of a sudden it just goes flat. So we used to do that in the bar. So if anybody has an upset stomach at home or you've been fucked by your dog, you should definitely just.
I can't drink soda anymore because I have such bad acid
It's reflux. I can't
Dude,
either.
I'm
I
dying
can't.
from
I'm
it.
I have a good thing for you.
I would like that.
Yes, I
after,
just actually had to
because
get. I'm getting a lot of tests, but it's black licorice root. These pills
heard about this.
are life saving.
I'm writing
I
it
usually have them in my purse too, but I would give it to you because it helps
writing it down because
immediately. And aloe juice in the morning.
Yeah,
I've
I drink
never-
orange juice every day.
I've never felt so girly.
I know. This is like I got a little fucking. We never talk about shit like that.
Because you guys aren't dying from fucking
Acid reflux.
No, but it's like,
the
girl,
worst.
I got
worst.
you what you need.
Oh my god, I do. Yeah, seriously.
Well, 2 great stories. I love it. You guys really brought those stories. Now let's
Yeah.
move on to the second round of stories. Jade.
This is also about
Dog
another
story number
dog.
2?
I do also have a crazy dog story where I had to put my finger in this dog's ass, but I'll save that for another time. Because pit bulls jaw, they lock their jaw when
Oh,
they're
yeah.
attacking, and I had to to
God.
get it to release. But at the very end of my relationship, I was very depressed, and I didn't know at the time.
What did that fucking pit bull have his jaw locked on your clit? I mean, Jesus Christ.
I would never let him.
She would. I was gonna say she wouldn't. Yeah, she wouldn't make him stop.
No, he had another dog, and it was like
Yeah.
killing it.
Oh,
And then
really?
and it was playing dead, the dog. And then when it released, it was like the dog was alive, but it was playing dead the
Right.
whole time. It was crazy,
my God.
and it had gotten its neck completely.
Oh no.
I was like,
How did you know to stick your finger up a
I didn't. My best friend was like, "Put your finger in his ass." I'm not kidding. And I was like, "Gah, gah, gah." It was crazy.
Why didn't he put his finger
Yeah.
in
She
there?
we were punching her,
Did the other
kicking
dog?
her.
Did the other dog live?
Yeah, the
Okay,
other dog
good.
lived, and we were supposed to put her pit bull down because it's like law, but the woman understood, and
Right.
it was just I should have actually told that story, but I'm telling this one instead.
Okay, sorry.
So I was really depressed, and I decided to go to this yoga retreat in Portugal. I really wanted to speak my own language. I'm from Brazil. I was like, I'll feel at ease. I was really, really sick at the time. I thought I was having digestive issues. So I found this place called Valley of Moses.
Really quick, I'm so sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
Can you say I have acid reflux in Brazilian?
I know how to say ácido. Eu tenho muito ácido. Eu tenho
Were
muito
you
ácido
born
na
in
minha
Brazil?
garganta. Yeah, I was born and raised there.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was like, I'll go to this retreat. I found this place called Valley of Moses. This woman specialized in spine work and So I was like, I'll go there. I didn't know at the time, but I had a shattered tailbone. It had shattered in
God.
3 different spots. I thought I was just really depressed.
What?
And like, like I thought I
Did
was
you not have like pain? Or you like were you having problems
no, I
sitting?
had I like couldn't shit, and then my stomach always hurt.
But you didn't have any pain in your butt?
It didn't feel
Oh.
like pain right there.
my
Like it just
God.
felt like pain in my stomach. But I was at the time bi-coastal too, filming in New York,
Right.
flying every 2 weeks to New York, sitting on my butt, being like so oppressed. Like
How did you break your butt?
I was tubing on mushrooms.
That'll do it. That'll do it. Everyone.
I was like, I'm one with the earth. Ow, ow, whoops. And then like it was camping, and then was like doing all this crazy shit.
There's still
horseback
not a lot they
riding.
can do about that, right? You just have to
Nothing.
sit on a donut.
Yeah.
But
for-
if I hadn't been like sitting on it,
Every
it
time-
would have already
yes.
been
Right.
healed.
Right,
And
because you were flying back
I
and forth.
kept
sitting on the
breaking
plane.
it. Yeah. So I find this retreat. It's called Valley of Moses. I get there. It's basically in this couple's house. It's like a woman and a man, this British woman who was like, oh, your tailbone's fractured, like right away. And this like man who leads you in a meditation every single day. And the reason the place is called Valley of Moses is because when they were traveling, they have this dog named Moses, this golden retriever.
I was wondering how that was going to enter into this.
So this golden retriever, they travel the world and they start this YouTube channel with Moses, and they make a little money, and they decide to buy a retreat. They find this place. It's called Valley of
They
Moses.
made enough money on YouTube to
YouTube.
buy a retreat.
You can.
Well, Portugal is like very. You can buy like it's desolate, like it's empty fields open to buy. Like I was like, maybe
Right.
I'm here to buy a place.
You
Like
could go to Kansas.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Which is-
there's like vineyards and eucalyptus trees.
Well,
and
there's,
stuff, you know?
there's
In Kansas, there are 2. Okay, super tropical.
They buy this place. It's called Valley of Moses. 9 years later, I'm there. It's like the successful yoga retreat. Like the 4th day in, we're all very zen. It's not really like a talking retreat, so we're all quiet. And you can imagine I'm quiet for 4 days. It's, a lot of crying was happening, and I could hear the guy like kind of masturbating in the room next to mine. No, I'm kidding.
Did your butt hurt though at any time, or just felt like an ache? Or?
It felt like when I pooped, I was breaking every
'cause
part
you're
of
pushing,
my body
yes.
was breaking. Like it was
Yeah.
the most painful. I really couldn't shit for like a year. It was crazy. It was just the most uncomfortable thing I've ever gone through.
I said this one other time. I've only really been constipated once.
Yeah.
And that was when I got my
all the time.
tonsils out.
Yeah.
Yes.
And all I was eating, they had me on the pain medication, and all I was eating
Yeah.
was Jello and pudding.
Yeah.
And it was such a hard piece of poop
Yeah.
that I had to put my finger up my butt.
And pull it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that was
my
the
ear.
most.
That was my ear. Yeah.
Oh, what happened to
Ew.
the
That's
fucking
like rock
podcast?
bottom.
What happened? Why'd you do that? Why did you
That
do
is rock
that?
fucking bottom.
I'm sorry.
right
I
there.
did that from the beginning.
I
I'm
felt
sorry.
open with you guys. I was
Yeah. Listen, I've had to do that. I've had to do
You
that.
fucking girled out. They fucking made you girl out.
Here's the thing. I don't know if that's a girl out thing.
I've
Reaching up
never-
your ass and pulling out poop is definitely more of a
that's
dude
Never
thing.
heard a dude
thing.
say that.
Yeah, because they do it all the time.
it was so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's rough. It was rough. Like, and I was also going through like the ending of my relationship, so mentally I was just like in a really bad place. And the 4th day in, I'm like starting to kind of see the light, right? And I kind of like there's this driveway kind of like this, and the house is below, and we've like bonded with Moses. They have 2 other dogs. This beautiful old golden retriever. We're all like fucking him. No, I'm kidding. We're all like hanging out with him. He's in the yoga classes. Like he's beautiful. Like the 4th day in, the bread delivery guy comes and hits Moses and kills him.
Oh my God.
And like he's like kind of on the side of the road. I see him, but I didn't see it actually happen. But I see him like kind of laying down, and another girl kind of saw the whole thing happening. And then very quickly we realized that he like was internally bleeding and died.
Oh my God.
So like we're in these people's homes. They've had this dog. He's 11. The reason why they like have this entire retreat is there. The woman who's like the acupuncturist lady who I flew across the world to see is like can't be seen. Like retreats away, goes into like this hidden cabin. And then the guy has to like, he's like, let's not do anything for the rest of the day. We'll lead the meditation tomorrow morning. And we go to lead the meditation the next day, and everyone's kind of like, should we go? Like, they're all very upset. And he's like, never forget this. He goes, well, that's life. You have to get through life whether you just had a great day or you just lost your best friend.
Don't cry, Jodi.
And then he like leads us through this thing. And then the next day was like a town day where we go into the town and he has to confront the bread delivery man. And I'm the only one who speaks Portuguese.
And he
my
didn't
God.
stop?
He didn't know. He hadn't. And I have to hear the whole conversation of him like, you ran over Moses. He's like, I didn't know. And like, I'm like kind of helping translate and watching the whole thing kind of like unrail. And it was just like the most and then I was like, wouldn't it be crazy if they do this every time to show us how important life is? And it's like a fake dog that
Like
like
the
it
dog is
wasn't.
fine.
It wasn't. But up until this day, like that retreat kind of changed my life, and I still haven't written them to be like, thank you, or like, I'm so sorry. Like I just have never written them like ever again. I've never even told
Why
this
did it
story
change your
aloud.
life?
Well, it made me realize I was just really unhappy in my relationship.
Did you get a refund or anything? I feel like that meditation would like it's life, and the next day you lose your best friend. Let's meditate. I'd be like, are you out of
It
your
was
mind?
crazy. I'm still kind of in shock from it because like they were just devastated, and they were supposed to be
Yeah.
helping us. We're
Yeah.
like, we're not happy in our LA lives, like
Right.
It was just so, and then also like I took this drive into town with one of the women there, and one of the women was like, "You should do this you should go back to Brazil and do a documentary." And I've done it now. Like
Oh, wow.
it's come full circle.
That's amazing.
And I'm not joking. Daily, I'm like, I should write them. Like, and something always stops me. Like I still have like this fear of writing them, but yeah, Moses,
Oh
rest in
God.
peace.
Wow,
Aw,
dude.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's heavy, man.
heavy one. Yeah,
dog fucking and dog dying.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Jeez.
yeah.
So, I mean, I know where that guy's coming from because whenever I have any kind of traumatic thing in my life, I would rather just work through it. Just like keep working,
What could
go
he
to
do?
work.
No, of
We paid,
course, you
we
do.
paid
Yes.
like thousands
I
of
was gonna
dollars
say,
to
you
be at
have
this
to.
thing.
Right.
Like, it was an expensive thing that I
Yeah.
was like, I need this. I need this. Like, it was
course.
last retreat type of thing. Yeah.
You know, when I was coming here tonight, and I passed by Jade, and Jade's like, "Yeah, I have these two stories," and I said, "Well, you're supposed to try to trick us," and she's like, "Yeah, I know, I'm working on it."
Mm,
And now she's told the story about the dog fucking, and then this story.
yeah.
Like,
So
which
that's
one though?
Did you get any inside scoop from talking to her up there?
I don't
What did you
know.
feel?
I'm like, I said the point is to trick us. And so I feel like she's fucking.
God, if that dog
snookered
fucking
you. Like,
story
you're
is true,
fucking
though.
in, though. You're like
Jeez.
fucking like
Dude, I
about to
wish it
cry,
wasn't.
Jessica.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
Good
that's-
stuff.
I'm
Those are both really
like,
good
Yeah, they're
stories.
tough.
I don't know.
I don't know about that last story.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'd rather believe that.
But look,
you
he stop
fucking,
it. Get your serious face off.
I might have to call bullshit. I don't know.
I did go to school for musical theater. My training goes deep.
It goes so deep. She was going to break out in song with the dog fucking. But there once
Lured
was.
Jessica in. She lured you in, dude.
Just like Eleanor. Oh, she got
Eleanor
me.
had us
I felt so bad
over
for
an
her.
abortion story.
Yeah, like
my
she had had
God.
this
She
abortion.
tricked everybody.
She's gotten me with that fucking story before.
And I laughed so hard. I was like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
God.
That was hilarious. Okay, so no questions. Jessica, you're usually like
Yeah,
bad
questions
cop.
away.
Yeah, question
Well,
her.
I mean, it's either she got this from the movie, the movie with Sassy and the cat Sassy and the
No.
dog. Remember
Yeah.
Homeward Bound?
Oh, no.
And there was the old golden retriever, who
Oh,
was
is that
the
what happened?
stoic one that led the group.
He got hit by a bread
Bread truck?
delivery guy.
During a retreat? And the cat had to do yoga without him? And the cat had to translate?
And witnessed by a chick with a broken tailbone.
Yeah, the tailbone too. Wow,
Yeah.
you broke your tailbone; it shattered. But did they do X-rays, or this was just like some holistic?
No, it was holistic. But then when I got back, I did X-rays, and it was shattered in 3 different spots. And she was
Wow.
like, "I can feel it." And then she also gave me this
You
little.
had your finger
I know,
out
you literally had your
like
fingers, like, up
she
the
was
butt.
trying to get a turd out of you or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm always gonna think of that.
Yes,
forever.
'cause, like, I can feel it.
Good. Because
But
now I got to think about some dog fucking a chick.
Yeah.
So it's fair.
To completion. Alicia, to
To
completion.
But also,
Fruition.
dogs
I
don't take.
prefer
I should have
fruition.
asked how long it took to finish, but that felt insensitive.
This weekend at the party, find out.
They don't take long, but you know that they like,
Don't take long. Like she's a fucking expert.
Yeah. When dogs get together, they get stuck.
What do you
Because
mean?
Well, I hope he didn't get stuck in her.
no, they wouldn't have. But I don't think
Well, how-
in a person if it were to happen. But they get stuck together, and you sometimes you can just like turn them around so they end up being like butt to butt because they're stuck together for a while.
Oh.
Yeah, like
You
the
have to-
dog when I did the
Right.
the fingering of the dog, like the craziest part was like when it happened, like when she released finally,
Right.
I looked into her eyes and she was like, she knew what she had done. Like she was like, it was crazy. It was like this, like I'm so sorry.
Like you snapped her out of it.
Yeah, like she didn't mean to. Like she was a street dog. She was a
Yeah.
foster. It was our fault. We should have let her off
Right.
the leash. But
Wow.
yeah, they're so aware. But then that makes me like,
Well, anyway, that's
Wow.
crazy story. Jody.
Oh, okay. Well, mine is another life-saving story, and a dog is involved in it. By the way, I've actually saved someone's life 4 times, so just so you know that, just put that out there. Yes,
wow.
in my life. So this is, I'd say, several years after the Newark car incident. I was working in Hoboken. I was working at Texas, Arizona. For anybody that's listening out there, at Texas, Arizona, you know, right outside of the path. It's the bar right outside of the path when you come out.
so funny.
It's like the best bar. Like everybody wants to work there. You make so much money. And I was working there, and I'd been working there for about 2.5 years. And it was at the point in my life where I'd been doing comedy about 2 years. And everyone was like, you have to go out to LA. And I was like, I don't want to go out to LA. Like, I absolutely don't want to go out to LA. And everyone was like, you need to do it. I wanted to do more acting. So I was like, all right, I'll go out for pilot season, but I'm not going to stay there. I'm going to come back. But it was really one of those things where I just started dating somebody and I just wanted to stay there, but I somehow knew that I had to go out there. So it was kind of like on the books, but I also was like, I don't really have any money. Like, how am I going to even stay out there for 3 weeks? It was just like a lot for 3 months. I was supposed to stay out there for 3 months. So I'm working, and now for those that don't know, like in Hoboken, like at night, it's definitely like young people, but during the day, it's a lot of regulars, like Frank Sinatra's from Hoboken. So every morning on the weekends, they played Frank over the loudspeaker, and Hoboken's a mile square, and it's amazing because you get to know people that actually knew Frank Sinatra when he started. Like these stories are amazing. So I would work at this bar, Texas, Arizona. My shifts were Saturday morning, Sunday morning for like college football, regular football, and then like Tuesday night. So I was working Saturday morning, and this guy, Frank, who came in every single Saturday because it's $1.75 drafts all day, every day. And they're like the small drafts, but that was always
I call
their thing.
bullshit. I'm kidding. It's like the most normal.
That's the bullshit. She's obviously lying. She's like a lie like that can't be. And by the way, this was like many years ago. This is 20 years ago. Yeah. So he would come in every day, but along with a lot of other regulars. But the thing that made Frank amazing is that he was blind. He's been blind. He was blind for like 40 years. And he had a seeing eye dog, which was a golden retriever. And I loved them because before I worked at Texas, Arizona, I worked at a bar in Morristown, New Jersey. And Morristown, New Jersey has a massive school for the blind, and they train seeing eye dogs. Like you can
Yeah, I remember
foster
in
a
school,
dog.
you know, all the-
You can foster the dogs
Well,
for like 3 months.
All
and then
the
you get back.
clocks that we had in school were always like made from School of the Blind.
Yes. There's like one of the school, honestly. No, there's just braille clocks. You just like feel it. But there's a huge school for the blind in Morristown, but they also have like you can foster dogs for like a couple months so they can get acclimated with people, and then they start training them how to be seeing eye dogs. So I always had a connection with Frank. I don't remember his dog's name, but he was a gorgeous golden retriever. And here's the best thing about Frank. This dog, like he folded his money in a certain way. So he would be like, I can't remember the dog's name, but he'd be like, get a 20. And the dog could sniff through his pockets and pull out the 20 because it was folded in a certain way. And everyone was fascinated by that. And the dog would like lean up and drop the bill, like the $20 bill on the bar. And it was
How would he
fucking
get it out
amazing.
of the wallet? Like
It wasn't in a wallet. It was always in his pockets, his like coat pockets. So that was Frank. Frank would
You
come
got
in.
this from the video on Facebook where that dog could sniff out 200 different types of toys or whatever.
I didn't, but I will watch that immediately after this.
I love that no dog thing can
I
go.
know, obviously, Homeward Bound. You got that
Have
from
you
the
seen Dogs on
Benji
Netflix?
movie. Yes, exactly.
So sad.
I know. I can't watch that. It'll make me
It's
sad.
so
It'll make me
sad.
sad. I can't watch A Dog's Life. Can't watch any of that. So that was just Frank and his dog. And his dog never had a vest, which I always thought was weird. It wasn't like a service dog. He had a harness on the
You
dog.
don't have to have a vest
You
for a
don't.
service
I know,
dog.
but even back then, there was no service dogs anywhere. The dog was just always with him. Well, Hoboken is just a huge party town. So cut to like I was supposed to leave in like 2 weeks to come out to California. This is when I was about to leave. And it was St. Patrick's Day, the St. Patrick's Day parade, which is amazing in
Really
Hoboken.
late for pilot season. Just want to point that out. It's kind of at the end.
I know. Well, spoiler alert, I ended up staying. Like, I just was like, I'm not going, like, I'm just going to move out there. So it's St. Patrick's Day parade, and like everybody goes out and they just go crazy. And Frank was there because it's during the day. It's always during the day. So everybody's going crazy, and he leaves. I see him leaving, and it was the end of my shift. I was also properly wasted, by the way, because that's all you do is drink when you bartend. So we walk out.
And when you live in Hoboken.
And when you live in Hoboken, again, it's like just that's all you do is drink. So Frank is walking, and he always walked everywhere, and he was with his dog, and there was a group of people just coming up, and they were just
because he
wasted.
can't drive.
Like, nobody could take a cab.
Oh, that's true.
You're like, no. Blind
Can't be
people,
in cars.
no. So, like, a whole bunch of, like, they were in college because they were just drunk guys. They came up and they started petting the dog. That's what I mean. He didn't have a service vest on. I always look back and think, because they just started petting the dog, and the dog was, like, obviously with him. And for some reason, Frank wasn't holding his harness. And he just moved a little bit. Like, he wasn't really walking away from his dog. But a car came around the corner. For anyone that knows where Texas, Arizona is, it's right outside of the path. And it is a sharp curve. So a car came around. And when I like saw it, and like when you see something in slow motion and you're like, and I started yelling as I was running. And it all happened so fast, and I shoved him. I like fucking shoved him. Yeah. And like all of these guys grabbed me. They felt like I was attacking him, but everyone realized that I shoved him out of the way. Yeah. So the car's coming this way, and I went like that, because like, and you went flying in front of him, and then these guys grabbed me, and then the dog's barking. It was total fucking chaos. And then Frank gets up and he's like, no. And then the car stops, and it was like total chaos, and I'm crying because I'm a girl and I'm already drunk, and I'm like, ah! And he gets up and he's totally fine. He's like, thank you so much. And I ended up hooking up with one of those guys that night. It was fucking awesome.
That's how I know this.
He was like really fucking hot. So it was like one of those nights, and it was just crazy. It was amazing. Cut to like the next week, I'm there a Saturday, and Frank walks in, and I was like, oh my God, how are you? And he's like, I'm so good. And again, can't remember the dog's name, but he was like, I have something for you. And the dog reaches into the coat pocket, and he puts it up, and the dog leans up, and he drops it, and it's like a little card. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. And I opened it up, and there was a check in there for $1,000.
Holy
A
shit.
fucking $1,000.
And that's your beginning story of LA.
He literally was like, have a great time in LA. You're my guardian angel. And like always it just was like amazing to me that I was like, oh my God, like I literally shoved you into the road. Like I shoved him even further. Like I didn't
Right, you probably broke his tailbone in 3
I broke his
places.
tailbone, and then he had to go to
Wait, I want this story to be true so badly.
$1,000. By
It's
the
a
way,
lot of money.
by the way, $1,000 in 1997 is like, I was like, oh my God.
$1,000 today.
Now.
I know.
That's a lot.
But even
of
like I had like, I mean, I made a lot of money bartending there, but that was like above and beyond. I just remember being like, that was the nicest
here,
thing.
I stole a lot of money from this place, but $1,000 I couldn't get away
Right.
with.
Wait, he couldn't have wrote the check himself.
No, somebody obviously. He obviously had somebody that handles
the
his
dog
account.
did.
Oh, the dog had really good writing.
Dog could do cursive.
No,
I
you
have
can obviously
questions.
go to the bank and have a check written for
I have
someone.
questions.
Go right ahead.
So, did you grow up in Hoboken?
I grew up in Jersey. I grew up in
Yeah.
Rockaway, New Jersey.
Uh-huh.
And Rockaway, New Jersey is about 30 minutes from Hoboken. So I moved down there at 25, and I lived there until I was almost 28 when I moved out here. Have you been to
It's
Hoboken?
fishy for me only because it's so late in pilot season.
I think
know what I
That's a
mean?
good catch.
Yeah.
That's a good fucking catch.
Because
Yeah.
like for me,
Here's-
I can't travel through like
But here's the
mid-January,
thing.
But you didn't know.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah,
understand. Like I didn't know anything
Yeah.
about
Yeah, I
acting or
wouldn't know.
anything.
I wouldn't
All you
know.
hear is you move out to LA for pilot season. And I came out here
Yeah,
in March, and I never even like I had my apartment back here.
I'm not even. My question is, the first story you made sound like you were so afraid because you were in Newark, but then you're a Jersey girl, and then being in.
Have you been to Newark?
No, I know, but it kind of feels like then that makes me doubt maybe that first story. Right? I'm just saying. I'm
Yeah,
not
'cause this
saying
one
the
feels
first story is
more-
not
yeah,
true.
I don't know.
I'm just saying from listening to both of your stories, and you are a great storyteller. Not as many people are as a great storyteller as you are, because you are very emotional. You give a lot of details. You did it to both stories, right?
And what if Frank's true, but she threw in a golden retriever because we just had one?
No, I
like,
Because
tie it
then there would be
together.
no.
I said in the very beginning that I had a dog in my story too. I didn't know that she'd be
But
fucking
this
dogs
is
and
my
killing dogs.
question. So
I did
my
not do
dad,
either.
was blind, and he had a service
wow.
dog, and so I don't.
Could the dog pull stuff out?
No, he couldn't pull money out
Would
of
the
his
dog have
pocket.
barked if he felt cars coming? Like, what do they do with that? Do
The
they
dog
have to
was
hold
more,
it?
yeah. He had the
harness
on
thing,
it.
yes.
Yeah, but he didn't have like a vest on.
Neither did this dog.
Okay.
Which, looking back, that's the thing. Here's the thing.
The
There were
harness
so
thing
many-
should be pretty clear, though.
Yes, but
for
here's
this.
the thing. It was a parade. If you guys have ever been to the parade, like here, I don't know, do they do a big parade here? But in Hermosa, when I was bartending in Hermosa, they do it. It's so massive in Hoboken. There's so many people on the sidewalks. So it was just a chaotic thing. Like everyone was walking and you see a dog, a golden retriever, which, out here we see dogs all the time, but you're seeing a guy with a dog. These were like drunk guys, like super drunk guys. They were just playing with the dog. It wasn't malicious or anything. There was nothing going on. It just was
Remember
a chaotic.
in that first story, and she was like, and then we looked up at the street sign.
Route 46.
Jody. I fucking see you, Jody.
Oh my God, Cecily, which one do you think it is?
Oh my goodness.
How do you guys do this? Is there
That's a tough one. Do you want to start with? Do you have any questions? Who do you want to start with, Kata or Jada? Or
Jade. Everybody wants to
sorry.
call me Jada. Is it because it rhymes with my
Jade.
last
Can
name?
I say
Yeah.
one thing though that Jade did do that might help you guys? Am I allowed to do that?
Oh,
Yeah, did you hear
sure.
before she
Yeah.
started that second story? Is that what you're going to say?
No. While she was telling her first story, she said she's laughing because she knows this story.
She did.
Yeah,
Now
but
she
maybe
can
that's a story that happened to her.
But yes. So you're either thinking that she knows it because it happened and Jade's told us many times on stage, or she's smart fucking cookie
Right.
and
or
she planted
the dog
that
fucked
seed.
her.
Right.
Or it's that.
Or also, though, you know what? Before she started
That
that
might have
second,
been a slip.
before she started that second story, she said she told us a story about putting the finger up the pit bull's bum.
Yeah.
Right. And then she was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I should have
Should've
told
told
that
that
story,
story.
but instead I'm going to tell this one." So that leads me to believe that one's true. But you put on a very serious face.
I did finger a dog. I do have a bit about it too.
Oh, we
Yeah.
believe that you fingered your dog. There's no doubt that story is
Not
true,
questioning
Jade.
that at all.
Should have done that one as well.
So let's start with Jade. And so, what do you have any specific questions you want to ask her? And you can ask questions too.
It feels like mafia. My
I
ex-boyfriend's
mean, there's so many.
house.
That first story leads to so many fucking questions.
Yeah,
I,
it's pretty brutal.
even my best friend, I think, if they would have told me, I probably would have still been there for him, I guess. But if they would have told me,
It wasn't it's not a best friend. I have like a group of like college friends that I'm like close with, but I wouldn't.
and I
wouldn't
totally
say.
believe that a dog would hump and she would be scared.
Hump.
I want to know, why was she not screaming out? Why did she not call out to anyone? Was no one's in
Yeah,
the house?
say the
Why was
dog's
she
name
not
or
getting
She
him?
was screaming. She was
And-
screaming.
and
She
nobody-
was trying to get out of it for a while.
And nobody could
nobody,
hear her?
nobody was home that day.
Oh, nobody was home.
But
My
she
whole
was
thing...
scared, I think, that it was going to like attack her.
I
if she,
understand
you
that.
know,
My
she was,
whole
like,
thing
frozen.
is, like, we're very good. I know I can speak for myself about when you hook up with a guy and you're like, you're not going in there, locking our legs
Right.
like a fucking vice.
And if you're
Right.
you're
And-
going to get in the fetal position.
Yes, a dog is not even though you're scared that you're going to be like ripped apart. I think I would be able to. A dog wouldn't be able to open my legs
It
open.
felt, it
If a
felt
dog was
insensitive.
fucking me, I would just pretend to throw a ball.
She didn't think of that.
I didn't think
That's
of telling
so
her
good.
that.
Oh my
Please.
I
god.
felt like there was not a follow-up question. Kind of
I
about
wouldn't
it,
have been able to stop asking her
I was like-
questions.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're saying that there
who
was
tells that story at
vagina
a party?
entry.
vagina entry.
There
like
was
inside,
entry into the vagina.
inside.
And the,
I can't believe that.
I
Yeah,
can't. I can't believe that.
I can't.
I can't believe that.
No, that means she wanted it. That's horrible.
Well,
that doesn't mean
I think she
that.
was acting for it. She came out of the shower naked. She wanted it.
I think part of the story was maybe like if I was more okay, you know.
All right, I'm going to say the first story for you is a lie. And this, oh my God, but it's probably true because it's so fucked up.
So crazy. It's so fucked
Yeah.
up.
And the second story about the, I'm going to say the
The
first.
yoga retreat?
Yeah, that. But see, like I said, when I came in and I said, you got to trick us, and it's fucking yoga.
Right. And that just sounds like a
touchy-feely
typical
story.
white lady movie.
Yeah.
I'm not one.
And your note.
No, but you would be in the movie as
The
you so much
quirky
for
best
casting
friend.
me. God damn it. Yeah, right, Jade, you're the ingenue.
All right, so what do you think? What do you think, Jody? Which one do you think is a lie?
What do you think?
I think I'm going to go. I think the second story is because the first story is so unbelievable. So that's why usually when something is so unbelievable that you tend to do that. I mean, she could be doing a reverse maneuver though, thinking that we're going
I
to think
know,
it's
that's
so
the thing.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
First maneuver is a new thing I'm using.
Yeah.
Also, I've been saying drama instead of drama. If you guys want to.
Because I can totally
but-
see you just like, I'm going to tell a story about a dog fucking a chicken coming
But
inside
here's,
of her.
oh yeah, oh my God.
And there was
Here's
a thing
though,
on
I do believe her
Instagram-
tailbone was broken. I believe
Yeah.
that happened for sure.
I think you already kind of knew
Yes,
that.
and I know that you were going through a breakup at
Yeah.
a certain point. So that, because you can tell those specific details, that came from experience.
Right.
You can't make up
Right.
that how that
And
feels.
she's so
stuff like
tiny, I
that.
could see her little booty getting broken.
Oh,
All right, I'm going to say the dog story is true and the Portugal story is a lie. What do you say, Jody, right
Really?
now?
You think the dog is true?
Because it's too fucked up.
Wow.
It's too fucked up.
No, I can't believe that it made entry into the vagina. So,
Jessica's going to need a picture.
Entry into the vagina is the name of my
Is the new Entry into the Vagina. They're playing at Silver Lake this weekend. You guys want to go see Entry into the Vagina?
That is so fucked up.
so
But I think it's true.
Yeah, I think it's true. And yes, the retreat, the dog getting hit by the bread truck.
Is not
Because they don't
true.
have bread in Portugal. Like, that's an obvious lie.
Jessica.
So we all.
no, I think that the bread truck is true,
Okay.
and the dog humping is not true.
So we
Not.
think that Jody and I think the dog humping is true. So what is the truth?
do I reveal?
Yes,
There's
please.
an extra twist.
Just reveal the fucking. Just
The
reveal it.
dog fucking story is a lie because it's not my story, but it's a real story.
Okay.
No, it's not.
And the second story is real.
Okay.
I got it
It's
right,
her
but who's
story.
the dog story?
You know the
She
friend.
knows the chick, but she knows the chick.
So
So it is a true story, though, yes.
But I
It's still
made it
lie,
mine,
still-
and it's a
still
lie.
lie.
It's a
That's
lie.
fair,
It's a
fair
lie.
enough,
It's
fair
a lie.
enough.
Nice,
And I,
fair.
yeah.
All right. So then I ask you, how long did the dog fuck her for?
I don't know that answer either, but I know that she bent forward to pick up a towel, was mounted by the dog, and that afterwards she said it was the best sexual experience of her life.
I
Oh.
forgot that part when she told me.
My
because
God,
it
you
made-
should have added that. Oh,
I
my
forgot that
God.
part because she just told me outside. So
And
I
the
was,
dog
like,
did come
freaking-
inside her? Did she have puppies like Jody said?
Yes.
Inconclusive.
I actually wrote a sketch about
Yeah.
a woman getting fucked by her dog.
Yeah,
At
it
Acme.
shocked me. So
And I
was
didn't
like,
think
this
it
is
was
the
even
story.
possible. Like,
No, she
too.
because you just said it was the best sexual experience she had. So that means that she let it. Like first it was an accident, but that she let it make entry to the vagina.
Yeah, for the story,
Yeah.
I had to make it sound
Yeah.
like
Let it
Yes.
make entry into the vagina?
She was bent over. picking
Yeah,
up the towel,
but
was wet.
she could have stopped him.
Yeah, I think she could have stopped.
yes.
She could have rolled over.
She could have just stood up.
She
Just fucking stand up.
thing to stop the dog, but she let the dog fuck her, and it was great. Apparently.
Well, I hope
Guys,
they're
I'm
living
sorry. I
happily
had to
ever
make
after.
it like she was scared because that's the way the
Yeah.
story was
Right.
going. So,
Wow.
but the bread one is everything is true. Every
Okay.
single detail,
Yeah.
is
All
true.
right then.
Damn.
And the
All
Christmas
right.
story is true. My friend really does do a little village thing.
Amazing.
Make that up.
Now we go over here to Jody.
Oh, I don't know because I feel like the second story.
Well, let's recap. The first
Yeah.
story is about getting lost in Newark and then coming across some people, and the father was carrying a son that was choking, and he took the son to the hospital and
Hospital.
saved his life.
And
then
found their
And then
route.
found
Yes.
the route 46.
Route 44.
46.
Second story shoves a blind man.
Shoves a blind man.
but saves
But
his life.
$1,000 for shoving a blind man. That
Right.
is the going.
I feel like the second one is true just because, like, she moved here, and that's like what happened right before she moved here. She had this cash. Like, I feel like the first one is like not that crazy of a. It could be a lie because it's like, why wasn't the guy giving the kid Heimlich? Like, is he that stupid?
No, but
like,
a lot of people don't know the Heimlich, especially.
I know, but if you have a child, like you put your finger down their throat, like
something.
a
Maybe they
Mexican
already had
mom
tried
would do
that. Maybe they had
Mexican
already
mom would
tried
do
that.
When I was a little girl,
Yeah.
one of my little friends died from choking.
Oh
on
my
a
God,
hot
really?
dog. Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's terrible. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
that's.
That's a funny
The
one.
skins. That's what gets
Our
you.
neighbor, yeah.
Oh my God, how old was she?
She was like 3 or 4. I was like 5 or 6. But
Oh.
but we heard it, and the mother went crazy, and yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Oh,
I think
So-
I'm just gonna go. Just I don't know.
so what do you think, Jessica?
Well, the first story ends with such a cute, sweet, perfect little button, doesn't it? It's almost like.
I have a cute button.
Jesus,
I have a cute button.
that is the ugliest thing I ever heard Jessica say to someone or about someone.
And then we looked up
And there
there
was
it
a street
was.
sign.
just above the sunset.
Well,
whatever.
I would agree with you because I stand by my position of you grew up in Jersey and then you're in Newark afraid. She sold that a fear
Also, like, why
thing.
2 separate cars?
No, that part because she took her
didn't
friend to
understand
go
that.
Did we
pick up the
her car? Her car
And
was
Jody,
stolen.
you've always been hot, right? Like you're hot.
Yeah.
You're hot. You're hot.
We've always
I've
been
always
on. I've
been
known you for 10
really
And
years.
you're a
hot.
badass chick. So even I think when you were younger, I think you were still a badass.
Aw.
Right, so she wouldn't have been like as scared. You
Right?
think?
She wouldn't have been a pussy.
Right. But I get it.
But I was hot, everybody. That's the takeaway. The takeaway is that I've
takeaway.
always been hot.
But the thing about the money out of the pocket, like,
But I saw that dog on.
no, I know, yeah.
No, trust
yeah.
me. He pulled. It was.
He was like a
I don't know why
pile.
that one
Amazing.
doesn't seem weird to me. That one seems true to me.
You could name it. This dog. It was probably more than 200. It was probably
Yeah.
thousands. He had a whole pile outside of
I have
all
to
these.
see this video.
And then he'd be like,
They're
"Bring
so
me the
smart.
lobster."
They're so smart.
Yeah, and he would go in this and find the lobster and bring it to him.
We
And he got
just
it right
wrote a
every
trivia
time.
question on our show. This guy was choking, and his dog actually grabbed his phone, and there's the large 911. I think it was an older guy, and the dog hit it. The dog knew to hit 911 and save this man's life. It's a trivia question. They're really when
But
they're
now
trained
she's
well.
really defending the story very
Now I'm like,
aggressive.
that's
No,
where
I'm
you got
defending-
the story.
I'm defending though that you thinking that a dog can't pull out money.
Right. I don't think that's a weird thing.
All right, I'll say God, I hate to be with the rest of you because you guys are all going to say that the first story is not true. Is that what you guys are going to do?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go first story, lie, second story.
I don't know. At the same time, who comes to LA and is that lucky?
Well,
That
well,
quick.
everything that happened after I moved to LA was like a tragic nightmare. So
Yeah.
And you know, she might have known a Frank with a dog, but did
what do
she
you
shove him a curve? Where's this-
Parade all of a sudden. What's up?
what's St. Patrick's
Fair
Day?
enough.
St. Patrick's Day seems
Fair
really.
enough. Fair enough. Okay, I'm going to say
elements.
I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to go against my better nature and say the first story is a lie in the second. No, wait. The first story is true and the second story is a lie.
You know what? I'm gonna say that the first story is true, and it wasn't because she was scared that she didn't stop for directions. Is that they were too proud.
Jesus, Jessica? What the
I don't know.
fuck
I'm
is
trying to
that
make
about?
sense
You're
of
trying to
this because I just don't think
psychoanalyze
she
her
would
back.
be that scared.
That's interesting that you're judging on character. That's a good way to tell. I feel like that's a good way to look
Right,
at it.
to try
Yeah.
and then the second story, not that I don't think Jodi would save lives, because obviously she did either way on this, but
I've saved 4 lives.
the curve, all this, and then
No, the curb. It was a curb. Pushed
curb.
him off the
But
curb.
you said it was like a
Yeah, it comes around. If you know where Texas, Arizona is,
I
it goes
don't.
around. Well, then you've never lived.
All right, so what is your decision?
So I say the first one is true.
And I'm going to say the first one is true. Jade.
I'm gonna go
You
lie.
are?
True.
You
guys
changed your
agree.
mind?
You guys agree?
I changed my mind that I'm going to.
You think the Newark one is true?
Yeah, I'm going against my better
Judgment?
Judgment, and I'm going to say the first one is
Okay.
true.
All right.
Can I
Great.
just have a moment? You guys, everybody's hair is just really shiny from this angle. I don't know what it's doing, but everybody
the
looks
lighting.
It's the
blown
light.
out.
It's the light.
So what do you think?
I think the first one is. I'm gonna go first lie, second true.
So you're against us.
I'm
So you're against
for,
it.
to play
so what
devil's
is it?
advocate.
What is it?
The first one is true. And by the way, I was scared shitless. You're fucking so scared when you're fucking in Newark. I don't care where you grew up and how badass you are.
Is there any part to the second that's true?
Yes, Frank lived in Morristown. His dog did pull money out of his pocket, and I only met him like 3 times, and we were always fascinated by the dog. But I did also work in Hoboken. I was a bartender there. Nobody ever gave me $1,000 tip, and I never pushed anyone. But there was a parade, and you actually caught it right. I actually moved out here in January for college season. But you still thought that was the truth, so
Yeah, I still
lost.
I know. I still
Wow.
Good catch.
You guys told such amazing stories. Where can people find you?
This was so fun. Thank you
Thank
guys
you
for
for
having
Yes,
me.
it was so much fun.
Thank you.
So
was
shout
really
out your
fun.
social media.
So you guys can find me at the Jade Movie on Instagram or on my website, jadecattapreta.com. Check out Hulu January 11th for Future Man. I love that.
And how about you, Jodi?
Jodi Miller comic, Jodi people, Jodi Miller comic. That's all my Instagram, everything. I think you do. We follow each other, or I follow you. You can catch Funny You Should Ask. It's syndicated, so check your local listings. But it's on 5 nights a week, and you can see me saving lives.
I don't follow you.
Oh my God! Immediately. Yeah, you can see me saving lives, and obviously I perform at the Comedy Store.
She does.
Wow. Well, you guys were awesome guests. And my name
thank
is
you.
Felicia Michaels, and you can catch me all across the board at Felicia Michaels.
And I'm Jessica Wellington. Follow me at Jess Wellington2 on everything. And you've been lied to. All right, here at the Liars Club, of course, Felicia and I do all the work. But we couldn't put it together if it wasn't for the lovely producer and comedian Andrew Rose. Thank you to him, and please follow him on Twitter at @1AndrewRose. That's the number 1 Andrew Rose on Twitter.